I don't think you could pray three more dangerous words than these. Thy kingdom come. Jesus taught his disciples how to pray, and it's recorded for us in Matthew chapter 6, verses 9 through 13. So let me share this with you. Jesus said, "This then is how you should pray. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one." That's how Matthew records it. And I believe we'd likely take a long pause before inviting such disturbance into our lives. You see, if we truly understood what we're saying when we repeat the model prayer or the Lord's Prayer, whatever you want to call it, that often overused and underestimated petition can only be answered by turning our lives upside down and inside out. So let's be honest. We don't always welcome God's kingdom with open arms. We want certain things in life, and we not only want them, but we know how we want them, when we want them, and where we want them to show up. So, for example, I want people to appreciate the fact that they've been blessed with my presence. I want the pleasure and I want my pleasures and my entertainment that I prefer to be available on demand. I don't want to suffer. I don't want to live without. Perhaps that's a reason why people have gone so cray-cray at the stores here recently. Have you ever stopped and listened to yourself? I think it sounds like a soundtrack from Queen back in the 70s. I want it. I want it all. I want it all. And I want it right now. To be honest, it's humbling and also embarrassing to admit that a lot of the time, we just want our kingdom to come and our will to be done. When there's no larger kingdom to capture my allegiance than the kingdom of me, my life becomes about what I want and how I can get it, or how I can use other people as a tool to get what I want. So those three simple words that Christ teaches us, thy kingdom come, I believe is the antidote to selfishness and self-destructive life. Since sin begins with the heart, then I'll only live within the boundaries God has set when my heart desires God's will more than my own desires. So, thy kingdom come. Three simple words are words of surrender, are words of protection, as well as freedom. You see, what I'm talking about here is they're words of surrender when we think about it from this perspective, that we would pray willingly. Try this on for size. Lord, I surrendered all that I do, everything I say, all the choosing I'm about to do for the sake of your kingdom and not mine. See, if we could surrender that. And think about this, the concept of protection, if we were to pray humbly. And try this on. Lord, you know I'm still tempted to think that I know better than you. So once again today, Lord, protect me from my own foolishness. Thy kingdom come. And then there's that idea of praying eagerly. And we could say something to the effect, God, help me to love you above all else, and to love my neighbor as I love myself, so that I might experience the freedom that comes when you break my bondage from the bondage of me. You see, only God's grace can produce this kind of prayer in your heart. Only God's grace can produce that. And it's all because of the accomplishments of Jesus Christ. That the grace that he's freely given us through his death, his burial, and his resurrection. And it's available 24/7, 365 days a year. So you ready to pray those three words? Thy kingdom come. Might just be the best three words out of your mouth today. And don't forget, God is good all the time, and all the time, God is good.